641. 641. And our last head word was indefinite article. Newer type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with revision. Okay, let me just scroll down. Okay, here we go. First question. What do you think is the best piece of advice a father can give to his son? What do you think is the best piece of advice a father can give to his son? I think
I
the
think
best
the
piece of
best piece
advice
of
a
advice
father can
of
give to his
other
son
can give his son
is
is to be always honest,
very good. Why? Why? Because
because to be honest is good for life.
very good. Okay. Does an encyclopedia contain pieces of information about all kinds of subjects? Does an encyclopedia contains pieces of information about all kinds of subjects? Yes. An
Yes, an
encyclopedia contains
encyclopedia
pieces
contains
of
species of
information about all
information
kinds
about
of
all
subjects.
kind of subject.
Very good. Do you think that the masses should be educated to the age of 18? Do you think the masses should be educated to the age of 18? Yes or no?
Yes,
I think
I
that the
think that
masses
the
should be
message to
educated
be
to the
educated
age of
to the age
18.
of 18
Why? Why do you think so? Because
because it gives people start the best start in life.
best start in life, having knowledge. Very good. Next, what would you say were the advantages of mass production? What would you say were the advantages of mass production? I'd say the
I think the
advantages of mass
advantage of
production
mass
were that
production were
production,
that production
were that
of
products.
the
One
product.
more, I'd say
I
the
say
advantages
the
of mass
advantage
production
of mass
were that
production were
products
that
can be
product can be played quickly,
made
made quickly
and more cheaply.
and more cheaply.
Very good. And what would you say were the disadvantages? And what would you say were the disadvantages? I'd say the
I say that
disadvantages were
disadvantage
that the
were that
products
the
are
product
often
are
identical
often
and the
identical
quality
and
might
the
sometimes
quality
be
and
poor.
sometimes be poor.
Very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're picking
You're
up your
picking
pen
up your pen
from the
from
floor.
the floor.
Very good. When a boy and a girl have a date, is it more common for the boy to pick the girl up at her house or meet her somewhere in town? When a boy and a girl have a date, is it more common for the boy to pick the girl up at her house or to meet her somewhere in town? When a boy and a
When a
girl
boy and
have a
girl
date,
have a
it
date,
is more
it
common
is more
for the
common
boy to
for the boy to meet
her
her
somewhere in
somewhere
town.
in town.
Greg, do you sometimes pick up new English vocabulary from songs? Do you sometimes pick up new English vocabulary from songs? Yes or no?
Yes,
I
I
sometimes pick up
sometimes pick
new
up
English
new English
vocabulary from
vocabulary from
songs.
the songs.
Greg, what do you think is the best way to prevent accidents on the roads? What do you think is the best way to prevent accidents on the roads? I think
I
the best
think
way
the best
to
way
prevent
to prevent
accidents on the
accidents
road
on the
is
roads is to be careful all the time.
very good. What am I doing? What am I doing? You're
You are
drumming your
jamming your
fingers
fingers
on
on
the
the
table.
table.
Like, what's the difference between a drum and a barrel? What's the difference between a drum and a barrel? The difference
The
between
difference
a
between
drum
a
and a
drum
barrel
and
is
a
that a
barrel is
drum
that a
is
drum
usually
is
made of
usually
metal
made of
and
metal
has
and
straight
has a
sides,
straight side,
whereas a barrel
whereas a
is
barrel
usually
is
made of wood
usually made of wood
and has
and
round
has
sides.
round sides.
Very good. What would you do if your next door neighbor played the drums loudly every evening? What would you do if your next door neighbor played the drums loudly every evening? If my next door
If my
neighbor
next door
played the
neighbor
drums
plays the drums
loudly every
loudly
evening,
every evening,
I'd.
I'd complain about it.
Very good. What's the difference between the words harbor and port? What's the difference between the words harbor and port? The difference
The
between
difference
the
between
words harbor,
a harbor
the
and a
words
port
harbor and
is
port. One more. The difference between the
difference
words
between
harbor
harbor and
and port
port
is that a
is
harbor
that a
is
harbor
anywhere a boat is anywhere a
is
boat
anywhere a boat
or a ship
or a
is
ship
protected
is
from the weather,
protected from the weather,
whereas a port
whereas a
is a
port
place
is a
where
place
goods are
where
put
goods
onto
are put onto
or taken
or
off a ship
taken off a ship
or where
or where
passengers board a ship.
passengers board
Very
the
good.
ship.
One more. The difference between
The difference
the
between
words
the
harbor
words harbor
and port
and
is
port
that a
is that
harbor
a
is
harbor
anywhere
is
a boat
anywhere a
or
boat
ship is
or a ship
protected
is
from the
protected
weather,
from the weather,
whereas a port
whereas a
is a
port
place
is
where
a place
goods
where
are put
goods
onto
were put
or
onto
taken off
or
a ship
taken aboard a ship
or where
or where
passengers board
passengers
a ship.
or board at the ship.
Very good. Okay, what do we mean if we say that someone is nosy? What do we mean if we say that someone is nosy? If we say
If
that
we
someone
say
is
that
nosy,
someone is
we
nosy,
mean that
it means
they
that
are too
they are
interested
too interested
in other
in
people's
other people's
private matters.
private matters.
Very good. How would you, oh, have you got nosy neighbors? Have you got nosy neighbors? Yes or no?
No,
I haven't
I
got
haven't got
nosy
any
neighbors.
nosy neighbors.
Very good. Okay, how can we sometimes form the feminine noun from a masculine noun? How do we sometimes form a feminine noun from a masculine noun? We can
We can
sometimes form
sometimes
a feminine
form a
noun
feminine
from
noun
a
from
masculine
a
noun. Masculine
by
noun
masculine
by
noun
adding the
by adding
letters
the letters
ESS.
ess.
Very good. What are the feminine forms of actor, host, uh, prince, waiter, and god? What are the feminine forms of actor, host, or prince, waiter, and god? The feminine
The
forms
feminine
of
clause
actor,
are actor,
host, prince,
host,
waiter,
priest,
and god
waiter, and
are
god,
actress, hostess,
actress,
princess,
hostess,
waitress,
princess,
and
waitress,
goddess.
and goddess.
Very good. What are the feminine forms of nephew, landlord, and widower? What are the feminine forms of nephew, landlord, and widower? The feminine
The
forms
feminine
of
nouns
nephew,
of a
landlord,
nephew,
and widower
landlord, and
are
widower,
niece,
a niece,
landlady, and widow.
landlady, and widow.
Very good. What has been the most important event of your life so far? What has been the most important event of your life so far? The most
The
important
most
event. Important event
important
of
event
my life so
of
far
my life so
has
far
been
has been passing
the
the
university
university entrance
entrance examination.
examination
Very good. Why? Why? Because
because I made a lot of effort.
very good. Okay. What type of sports event do you like to watch most? What type of sport event do you like to watch most? I like to
I
watch
like to watch tennis
the most.
game the most.
Very good. Would you say you had led an eventful or uneventful life? Would you say you had led an eventful or uneventful life? I'd say
I'd
I
say
led
I
an
led an eventful
eventful
life.
life. Very good. Are you the kind of person who likes to put his nose into things that don't concern him? Are you the kind of person who likes to put his nose into things that don't concern him? Yes or no?
Yes,
I'm the kind
I'm
of
the
person
kind of
who
person
likes to put
who
his
likes to
nose
put his nose
into things
into
that
things
don't
that
concern
don't
him.
concern him.
Very good. If you won the lottery, how would you celebrate? If you won the lottery, how would you celebrate? If I won the
If
lottery,
I want the
I'd
lottery,
celebrate
I'd
by
celebrate by having
throwing
a party.
throwing a party. Very good. Do most countries have a big celebration on New Year's Eve? Do most countries have a big celebration on New Year's Eve? Yes, most
Yes,
countries
most
have a
countries
big
have a
celebration
big
on New
celebration
Year's Eve.
on New Year's Eve.
Greg, do you always buy clothes that are up to date? Do you always buy clothes that are up to date? Yes or no?
No,
I don't
I don't
always buy
always
clothes
find
that
clothes
are up to date.
that are up to date.
Greg, if you're planning to travel around the world, is it essential to have an up to date passport? If you're planning to travel around the world, is it essential to have an up to date passport? Yes. If
Yes,
you're
if
planning
you are
to
planning
travel
to
around the
travel
world,
around the
it's
world, it
essential to
is
have
essential to
an
have
up to date
an up to date
passport.
passport.
If you bought some food in the supermarket and then discovered it was out of date, would you take it back? If you bought some food in a supermarket and then discovered it was out of date, would you take it back? Yes. If I
Yes,
bought
if
some
I
food
bought some
in a
food in
supermarket
a
and then
market and
discovered
then
it was
discovered
out of date,
it was out of
I'd
date,
take it
I'd
back.
take it back.
What does the idiom a piece of cake mean? What does the idiom a piece of cake mean? The idiom
The
a
idiom
piece
a
of
piece
cake
of
means
cake means
extremely
is
easy to do.
extremely easy to do.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Most of the
Most
questions
applications
in the exam
in the
were
exam
really difficult,
were really difficult,
but the first
but the
three
first
were
three
a piece of
were a
cake.
piece of cake.
Very good. Okay. When do we use nouns in general sense? What do we do with them? When we use nouns in the general sense, what do we do with them? When we use
When we
nouns
use
in the
noun
general
in the
sense,
general
we
sense,
put them
we
in
put
the
them
plural
in the plural,
and we do not
and
put
we do not put
an article in
an
front of them.
article in front of them.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. People go to
People
cinemas
do go to
to
cinemas
watch films.
to watch films.
Very good. What do we do if a noun doesn't have a plural form? What do we do if a noun doesn't have a plural form? If a noun
If a
doesn't have
noun
a
doesn't
plural
have a
form,
plural
we
form,
simply
we
use it
simply use
on
it
its own,
on its own,
also without
also
an
without
article.
an article.
Give me an example. Give me an example, please. Paper
The
comes from
paper
wood.
comes from wood.
Is it correct to say the water is necessary for the life? Is it correct to say the water is necessary for the life? No, it
No,
isn't
it
correct
isn't
to say
correct to say
the water is
the
necessary
water
for
is
the life.
necessary for the life.
What must we say instead? What must we say instead? We must say
We must say
water is
water is
necessary for
necessary
life
for
instead.
life instead.
Very good. Okay. What are the articles in English? What are the articles in English? The
The
articles in English
articles in
are
English
the,
are
a,
the
and
a and a
and. Very good. What
and.
do we call the word the? What do we call the word the? We call the
We
word
call the word
the definite
the
article.
definite article.
What do we call the words and and? What do we call the words and and? We call
We
the
call
words
the words
and
a and an
the
the
indefinite article.
indefinite article.
What's the difference between and and? What's the difference between and and? The difference
The
between
difference
a
between
and an
a and
is that
an
we
is
use
that we use a
before a word
before a
that
word
starts
that
with a
starts with
consonant
a
sound,
consonant sound,
whereas we
whereas
use
we
an
use an
before a word
before a
that
word
starts
that starts
with a vowel
for,
sound.
with a vowel sound.
Very good. Give me an example. Give me an example, please. A book,
A
a
book,
university,
a
an
university,
apple,
an
an
apple,
hour,
an
etc.
hour, etc.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new work. Okay, so now let's continue and. So let's talk about the use of the indefinite articles and. The use of and. Okay, repeat. Countable,
Countable,
uncountable.
uncountable.
Very good. Okay, listen. The indefinite articles and mean the same as one, the number one, and we use them with singular countable nouns, like nouns that you can count. For example, we say a chair because we can count the chair, one chair, an apple, etc. We do not use them with uncountable nouns like bread, water, oil, the nouns that we cannot count. Okay, let's practice. When do we use the indefinite articles and? When do we use the indefinite articles and? We use
We
the
use we
indefinite articles
indefinite
and
articles
and
and
with singular
is
countable nouns.
singular countable nouns.
Very good. Give me some example. Give me some examples, please. A table,
A
an
table,
address,
an address,
etc.
etc.
Very good. Okay, next, listen. Sometimes we use the word one instead of the indefinite article, instead of and, but only when we need to emphasize the number. For example, I have two sisters, but only one brother, instead of saying only a brother. There's just one problem with your idea of going to the cinema. We have no money. Okay. If we do not need to emphasize the number, we use the indefinite article. For example, I want I went to a really good restaurant last night. Or he is an artist. Okay, let's practice. When do we use the word one instead of the indefinite article? When do we use the word one instead of the indefinite article? We use
We
the
use
word one
the word one
instead of
instead
the
of
indefinite
the
article
indefinite
when we
article.
want to
We
emphasize
want
the
to
number.
emphasize the number.
Wait, give me a sentence with the word one. Give me a sentence with the word one, please. I like one
I
song
like one
on that
song
CD,
on that
but
CD,
all the others
but all the
are really
others
boring.
are really boring.
Very good. Next, repeat warm,
Worm,
silkworm,
silkworm,
silk.
silk.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word worm is a noun. It is a small animal that has a long, narrow, soft body. For example, earthworms, silkworms, or woodworms. Silkworm is a caterpillar that produces silk, which is used to make threads or cloth. Silk is a smooth, soft, shiny cloth that is made from thread produced by silkworms. Ties, scarves, etc. are often made of silk. Let's practice. What kind of worms are there? What kind of worms are there? There are
There
earthworms,
are
earthworms,
earthworms,
silkworms,
silkworms,
woodworms, etc.
rootworms, etc.
What kind of things are often made of silk? What kind of things are often made of silk? Ties, scarves,
Ties,
etc.
scarves,
are
etc.
often made of
are
silk.
often made of silk.
Very good. Next, repeat limb.
Limb,
Very good. Okay, listen. The word limb is a noun. It is a leg or an arm. For example, humans have four limbs. Let's practice. How many limbs do humans have? How many limbs do humans have? Humans have
humans
four limbs.
have four limbs.
Very good. Next, repeat poison.
Poison,
Very good. Okay, listen. Poison is a noun. It is a substance that can cause living things to die or to become very sick if it gets into their bodies. For example, if I discovered rats in my house, I wouldn't consider using poison to kill them because I have a lot of rats. Okay, let's practice. If you discovered rats in your house, would you consider using poison to kill them? If you discovered rats in your house, would you consider using poison to kill them? Yes or no?
yes.
If I
If
discovered
I
rats
discover blood
in my house,
in my house,
I'd consider
I'd
using
consider
poison
using
to kill
poison
them.
to kill them.
Very good. Next, repeat cave,
Cave,
bat.
bat,
Very good. Okay, listen. Cave is a noun. It is a large hole on the side of a cliff or hill or under the ground. Bat is a noun. It is an animal that has wings and a hairy body like a mouse and usually lives in a cave. For example, I wouldn't be willing to spend a night alone in a cave full of bats. Let's practice. Would you be willing to spend a night alone in a cave full of bats? Would you be willing to spend a night alone in a cave full of bats? Yes or no?
no,
I
I
wouldn't be
wouldn't
willing.
like be willing.
One more. No, I
No,
wouldn't be
I wouldn't
willing
be
to
willing
spend a night
to spend
alone
a
in a
night
cave
alone
full
in
of
the cave
bats.
full of rocks.
Very good. Next, repeat. Deserve.
Deserve.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word deserve is a verb. If you deserve something, it means that you are worthy to have it. For example, I think some people deserve more of the good things in life than others. Let's practice. Do you think some people deserve more of the good things in life than others? Do you think some people deserve more of the good things in life than others? Yes, I think
Yes,
some
I think
people
some people
deserve more of the
deserve
good
more
things
of the good
in
things
life than
in
others.
life than others
Why? Why do you think so? Because
because
they work harder.
they work harder.
Very good. Is there anything you think you deserve but have never received? Is there anything you think you deserve but have never received? Yes or no?
Yes,
There is something
there
I
is
think
something
I
I
deserve
think I deserve
but have never
but
received.
have never received.
What and why? What and why? I think I
Past.
deserve,
I think I deserve
let's say, a promotion.
a promotion
Very good. Why? Why? Because I work
because
hard.
I work hard.
Very good. Next, repeat. Frequent,
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 frequently.
frequently.
Very good. Okay, listen. The word frequent with the accent at the last syllable, frequent, is a verb, whereas the word frequent, the accent is in the first syllable, is an adjective. The word frequently is an adverb. For example, I frequent some clubs, so that's a verb. I pay frequent visit to my doctor. That's an adjective. We frequently met over a cup of coffee. Okay, let's practice. What's the difference between the words frequent and frequent? What's the difference between the words frequent and frequent? The difference between
The difference
the words
between the
frequent
word
and
frequent
frequent
and
is
frequent
that the
is
word
that
frequent
the word
is a
frequent
verb,
is a verb,
whereas
whereas
frequent is an
frequent is
adjective.
an adjective.
Greg, do you frequent any clubs? Do you frequent any clubs? Yes or no?
Yes,
I frequent
I
some
frequent
clubs.
summer clubs.
Do you pay frequent visit to your doctor? Do you pay frequent visit to your doctor? Yes or no?
Yes,
I pay
I
frequent
pay
visit
frequent
to my
visit
doctor.
to my doctor.
How frequently do you visit your dentist? How frequently do you visit your dentist? I visit my
I
dentist
visit my
about
dentist about once a year.
once a year. Very good. Okay, so now let's move on to reading. Okay, so our reading is at stage 7, paragraph page 534. Okay, last headword was entire. Okay, please start at the next question. Do you think it's possible for a person to go through?
Do you think it's possible for a person to go through his entire life